So, in summary, everything is going fantastically. We've accomplished all the things that we set out to do. We have secured all of the big apocalypse tokens, and we've kept them all safe. Nothing bad has happened to any of them. We've understood our opponent, we've grasped the stakes. We definitely know what we're getting into. Am I accurate so far?
That's a pretty 10 out of 10 summary. Accurately describes everything that has happened thus far.
And on top of everything else, we've got the fundamental essence of pastry. Which sure is a thing that I wish I could just carry around all the time. Also, is it like a pastry, or is it like just, you know, making pastry generally, and we can use it to make more things?
No, it is a pastry. It is one of the permanent stat boost items that I have like a couple of them lying around I haven't used yet.
That's slightly less interesting. I was hoping it could just be pastry generally.
Anyway, we gotta help out this guy who is really not doing the advertising well.
I mean, he could stand to be more certain. Like, you should be shouting about the reasonableness of your pricing. It's not like, oh, I think it's reasonably priced. No, we are definitely charging you a fair price for our special. Frankly, I think our reasonably priced special shouter is attracting a lot of questions already answered by the shouter.
Sorry, well now we have the opportunity to give him some advice to get him on track.
Like, I feel like it would be on point for Callus to appreciate us, like, just completely leading him wrong there. Also, I can't lie, these are all important, but I guess we should be shouting about food. Well, it's a moderate approach.
I mean, it's better.
I mean, this is now infomercial. Is what we have here.
I think we can do better though.
Like this is like a late night radio ad.
I want to hear you shouting about those cheap prices.
I mean, that's decent. How many unique variants of this are there? Like, does he literally have, like, one for every combination?
I think they do.
Well, I guess I can respect that. I don't know. It seems a reasonable thing for like a random side quest in a 2003 era JRPG. But seriously though, I feel like we should get like respect points from Callus for trolling the shit out of that guy and telling him to whisper about the atmosphere.
I mean, does it really matter what he's whispering about if we tell him to do that?
I mean, pragmatically no, but it's much funnier. Again, see why Callus would be respecting us for it. But then again, like, I guess they're trying to delude us into thinking that he's suddenly got a conscience now, out of nowhere, so that's maybe not. Yeah.
I mean, he does have a kinda, sort of, girlfriend who's been nagging him about not being a terrible person for a couple hours now, so, you know.
And he's listening to that?
I didn't say that. I just said that there was at least somebody who he's been with for the better part of 15 hours now, who has gone, maybe you should be less of a terrible person.
Yeah, but what's that against the guardian spirit voice in his head telling him that he should definitely be the most terriblest person he can be? Like, the sense of scale, right? Oh, that's always a welcome sign. That's how you know stuff's about to go real well, is when a JRPG does this.
Yeah, the unprompted, would you like to save now? Is, not a good sign.
Also, wow, that was a astonishingly anticlimactic disc transition. Well, that's just, like, there, right? Didn't even have to fight for it. That's not how you do this at all. I recall Tales of Symphonia having much more drama around the disc change.
Yeah, there was some plot that happened directly before the disc change in Symphonia.
Like, you gotta respect the disc transition. Either that or you try and do really weird stuff, like when Mass Effect had like most of the game on disc 2, but the prologue and the end mission were on disc 1. That was really weird, right? Like, that was long enough ago that we can all agree that that was really weird.
Welcome, Lady Melody.
I mean, I appreciate what they were going for, but
Thank you for receiving me, Sir Badro.
My point is, this was none of those things. This was neither weird, nor interesting, nor dramatic.
Please.
And I think you should strive to be at least two of those things.
Regretfully, the Emperor is out of
I mean, it is the one thing that this game hasn't been for the majority of its runtime, which is entirely sensible. You've played about half of the game. Let's change discs now.
Looks like they're gone.
Ugh, pragmatism.
Let's find out what the Emperor and Giacomo's men are up to.
What if we can't find them?
Then we should go to my residence. Both my brother and sister are soldiers. They must know something.
Ah, soldiers. They'll definitely help.
Okay. We don't have to go.
I mean, there are worse leads than, hey, my siblings are actively part of, like, the Empire's military.
Besides, time is growing more scarce.
I guess technically there are worse ideas than this, but, you know, whatever. Besides, I figured the plan here would be more of a straightforward, just charge in and start doing violence kind of plan. That's really what I expected from this crew. You're telling us this city was too advanced for us, but we've just come from a town that was made entirely out of biscuits. Like, you are so far out of your league.
Well, yeah, but, you know, the town that was made of pastries is... They're not really on the same level as militaristic superpower.
Like, what do they care? They have baked goods. Like, they've just got everything they need. They got so much they can build houses out of it. Like, next to that, what is any of this? Like, who gives a shit about gold?
Oops. Sorry, kid. Huh? You okay, little guy?
You know you're in for a good time when the caption literally says elite child.
Such as yourself, even set foot in our glorious Imperial capital. Oh, bother. Might you quickly step aside? As I'm a very busy person, unlike you. Or are you thinking that I should step out of the way? Is that it? Ha!
I love him.
Those with most power always come out on top. That's how the world is. You're all adults. Don't tell me you weren't aware of that simple fact. People like me, who are highly educated and naturally talented, must rule the inferiors when we grow up. It's not a right we've been granted, but a duty we must fulfill.
So, if it wasn't obvious before,
Hopefully, this
the Empire might have a little bit of a wee fascism problem.
Tiny bit. Just like marginally fascist. Just a tiny bit. With emphasis on the tiny. Like, look at that walk cycle.
Were you taught to act like that in school too, you? No. I was homeschooled. Almar, a foster nurse of mine, gave me private lessons.
I mean, that was definitely another one of those times when this game's, like, unique approach to voice recording managed to work out entirely in its favour. Because that just made that whole thing, like, really dissonantly precious. Now, I'm sure that was a complete accident, but, it worked out okay in the end. Wow, I think I must have missed that one.
What, the bird?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's Mizuti's equipment.
Ah. Oh, that explains why I missed it then. So he was just carrying that around. Okay. Whatever, it's like the least weird thing that we've dealt with.
I'm pretty sure it's the thing that's on top of their head. Like, if you look closely, I'm pretty sure you can see, like, a little bird on top of their hat.
It's entirely possible that I was distracted by, well, literally everything else.
Yeah, by Mizuti's everything, yes.
I mean, I'm surprised the shopkeeper deigned to do business with us after all that. I guess it's just a little missed opportunity.
Just because we are inferior savages from God only knows where, doesn't mean we don't have money that he's very happy to take.
Ah, capitalism, truly the great equalizer.
Perhaps outsiders like yourselves don't know that there was once a genius of a doctor living here. That doctor designed the very first Imperial ruler, and the famed battleship Goldoka to boot. But, as you may know, there's a fine line between pure genius and absolute insanity. He became obsessed with some sort of dangerous research. Night after night he would perform this research in secret. On one of those nights, a huge explosion enveloped his laboratory in flames and took the poor doctor's life. That was over 10 years ago. His obsession was said to be some dreadful and forbidden type of research. Even today, no one is supposed to talk about that doctor.
I have a question in response to that. No, we're not gonna press that one. No. Okay. Anyway, I guess this whole city is haunted now. But, like, seriously, they weren't gonna turn that guy's house into a museum or something? Well, I guess that would attract too many questions about him. I guess their only tactical error was just leaving it there and, like, filling it with the one guy who just tells every idiot who wanders in, oh, there's this guy, but we're not supposed to talk about him, but let me tell you about him.
I mean, they're trying to unperson the doctor. But,
I feel like you don't need to go to so much effort with people who never knew that somebody existed. Like, I think they're just going about this in a slightly inefficient way. That's just my opinion, though. Good, we've stumbled upon the one decent family. Hey, even as a small child, you're your own most insistent editor. I can respect it.
Hear ye, people of the great Imperial capital, elite citizens of our mighty empire. By nature, it is our duty to guide the foolish people of other nations and rule the world with great authority.
Okay, maybe they've got a little bit
Our
bigger
scientific
fascist problem.
superb military force.
Oh, you think?
Only the strong survive.
Look, I'm starting to see a few more warning signs, okay?
They rule. All other nations will bow down to the chosen elite. Hear my words, citizens of the Imperial capital. I am Gelderblade, ruler of this mighty empire. Devote your absolute trust, loyalty, and obedience to me.
Man, this guy really is the full package, isn't he? Like, we got the egotist, the tyrant, the megalomaniac, and the ruthless authoritarian, totalitarian, fascist dictator. Like, he's everything. Like, that's a full house on the bingo card. Anyway, does this just keep playing? Is this just playing on a loop?
It is. Yeah, if you talk to any of those people, it'll start playing the message again.
Wow. So on top of everything else, all of the citizens just have absolutely no taste. I guess these guys are going to fall into the same kind of category as the more famous inspirations of these kinds of nations and plots, where they're just so completely, I'm gonna go with blinded by their own egotism that they don't even realize that they're doing incredibly stupid things like just letting random people know about the secret weapon and talk about it in pubs.
Did you hear the news? Seems there was quite a ruckus in Diadem. I heard a lot of people.
Let's see where that goes.
bad. Yeah. Royal Knights were supposedly preparing for battle with the Empire in secret. Remember that young punk who caused a lot of trouble and was exiled at Diadem? Seems he's turned his back on the Empire and works for the enemy now.
Oh, hey, that's us!
You mean that idiot caught up in the Aza incident a couple of years ago? The one who turned on his superior officer? Oh man, what got into him?
And thanks for all the exposition,
Just
guys.
unbelievable. How could he betray his own country and side with the barbarians?
Some people just don't have what it takes to keep up with the Empire. Either that or just a bad apple. Plain and simple. That's why they exiled him.
Man, we do seem to just stumble upon random exposition, don't we?
Liu, why exactly were you transferred to Diadem anyway? Didn't you just hear the soldiers? There's a small village called Aza, just south of Mintaka. The unit I used to belong to was ordered to raid that village. I objected to the order.
Like, basically it's
confronted
Final
my
Fantasy
commander.
IV. We've all played Final
I
Fantasy IV,
refused to
right?
take part in that mission, and was supposed to be court-martialed because of it. But because of my family, which has served the Emperor for generations, they demoted me instead. Hence my transfer to Diadem. My brother and sister were high-rank officers as well.
Operation Sweep in Aza.
Oh good, that means our plan to go and see them is even more stupid than we realized.
For today. Time to move. No time for tiddlywinks if we want to save the world before supper.
I don't know about, Gabari, I think your timetable on this whole saving the world business might be a little exaggerated, but I admire the guts, the gusto you're going for here.
Like, I honestly think that charging in full murder would actually be a more effective plan at this point than what we're actually going with.
Anyway, it turns out this idiot child actually has a name.
Huh. In fact, you can't just barge in here, but are you gonna send us out?
Say, how does it feel to be condescended to by a child named Panaway?
Like, I don't know. I'm still angry about being condescended to by the one kid from the. I can't actually remember his name other than he was something the third.
Oh yes, Pololo the Third, the Lord of Shadows.
Yeah, him. So, like, I don't know. I feel like I've got a bit of a lag on the being condescended to by children reactions here. Hey, at least one of those guys vaguely kept their word.
I like that he asks you about the thing immediately after you do a thing that's like, oh, let's tell you about this thing that has all of the backstory that's pertinent.
Like, is it possible to get here without going through that?
No, because you have to clear out the group there.
I mean, I guess it's there like, hey, do you want a reminder of all the exposition? Because, you know, RPGs don't do that enough. I don't know. I guess it makes it incredibly portentous that they're just like making such a point of making sure that we know about this.
Anyway, completely coincidentally, might be a good idea to update your decks before you go see Liu's family.
Oh, you think?
Please enter by all means.
Like, are we entertaining the possibility that this might not go optimally?
My family has belonged to the Imperial Army for generations, but I caused a lot of problems. My brother and sister may never forgive me.
What about your parents?
Anyway, let's stake the entirety of this operation on their mercy.
They died when I was very young. My mother died just after I was born, and my father died in action.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't be. I was raised by a wonderful foster nurse named Almard. She was always so kind to me.
Oh, it's my boy. Welcome home, Liud.
Hi, Almard. Long time no...
Never thought I'd see you back here.
Brother. Sister.
Aha.
This is off to a fantastic start.
Well, my expectations for this plan were low, but god damn.
Come over here. This is your chance to rejoin the Empire. Just hand them over to us, and you're back in.
What are you waiting for? Come to us and you know what to do.
You set us up, didn't you?
Oh wait, I was just being mind-controlled again.
How can you point a gun at your own brother?
I mean, he's kind of got a reputation at this point for treachery, at least from your perspective.
What he's been up to. Please.
I mean, I was gonna go more for the angle of, how can you point a gun at your own brother, you say, as you are holding your brother at gunpoint?
Yeah,
Have you lost your mind?
that's also a point, but like, I feel like they should be less surprised by the one than the other.
If we just up and let you go, Valley and I will be executed for treason. If you insist on going with them, you'll have to get through us first.
I mean, this is literally what we expected.
I can't do it. I can't shoot my brother and sister.
Well, that's very unfortunate, Liu, because I'm pretty sure they're about to shoot you.
Don't worry, Callus can.
It must be the stone carver's blood in your veins.
And don't think I don't see Great Mizuti charging up the magic ring back there.
You've disgraced our family name beyond redemption. How could you be such a coward? It's time to erase the stigma. Goodbye, Lee.
No!
Can we please just fight already? Oh hey, nice one.
Next time I won't miss. I'm serious.
I mean, very big of you, but I feel like you probably shouldn't have missed this time.
Aboard the battleship Goldoba, hovering in the sky above Mintaka at this very moment. Go, my dear child.
But you...
Don't worry about me. Hurry!
Well, I was gonna say you're almost certainly dead, but I guess I was a little bit too late. Anyway, now can we... seriously? Okay, fine, well, whatever.
Damn! They're gonna mow us
I mean,
down.
listen, they've got the tank outside. I don't think they really need to worry too much about.
We can take the tank.
Please, go.
We've literally taken one of those tanks before.
Don't be foolish. There are things you must do.
No!
Since you refuse to attack my village, Asa, for me, this whole mess...
No, Almar.
Come on, do you have a contractual obligation to deliver exposition?
Go now. Hurry. Lude, my darling boy.
Almar?
Omar!
So, are we gonna do anything about the army outside?
Dude, we have to go.
I mean...
Also, are they gonna do anything about us?
They have the entrance to the house covered. We have to sneak out through the back.
Right, the back. They'll have missed that, right? Especially since they got the siblings. No? Wow, okay.
They found us!
I think we're past that point, Callus.
Wait, now can we fight?
This is gonna
Yes.
be tough.
Now we can get our murder on.
Well, that sure was a procession of extremely stupid and extremely predictable things that happened. I mean, I'm looking at that hat, and like, I'm not really seeing bird very much. Like, I don't know if it's spinning or if it's flapping or if it's just because of frame rates, but like, I did not pass that as a bird at all.
I think it's a little bit easier to see on the field model, but...
If we get a close-up, I'll have a better look, but...
Anyway, these guys are going to try their hardest to inflict a confusion blast.
Yeah, that seems pretty obnoxious.
Yeah, confusion is... Well, it's not what you're thinking of when we typically talk about confusion. That is for sure.
Oh, that's something.
But,
Still bad?
we'll see in a little bit.
Oh, this is a new one, right?
Yeah, we haven't seen one of those in a while.
Oh, okay.
There is, of course, nothing to say about these guys. They are, example number 400 of the Empire's soldiers.
I mean, the confusion thing is new, but yeah, they're just like, yep, they're the guys, they got the guns, they shoot you. They have their single gimmick. I don't know. I guess it's an occupational hazard of any kind of JRPG situation when you want to have people dealing with an army, but also you have to do it in turn-based combat. I have sympathies for anybody who has to try and balance those as the narrative and mechanical priorities. Nowadays we got the real-time RPGs, of course.
I feel like in a lot of ways they have it even worse because, like, now you have to figure out how to make Gun not ludicrously overpowered.
I don't know. I think if you're an RPG, you can just do what the hell you want. You can just say, oh look, you wandered too close to the enemy, you got shot. You took 9999 damage. I mean, hell, Call of Duty does that. I think an action RPG can probably deign to.
So, yeah, here we go. Confusion.
Makes you play the wrong cards?
Yes and no? It's, you remember the headache ailment? The one that, like, moved all your numbers around?
The one that made them on the cardinal directions instead of the diagonals?
Yes.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Okay, confusion is headache's big brother.
Aha. Oh,
Mighty sword, turn teardrops to terror and wreak havoc.
It will make sense in just a second.
Well, okay then.
Unfortunately, these guys are deigning to have turns, and that's just not going to stand.
Man, I feel like I'm gonna be let down now. Huh.
So, yeah, this is, it's not hard to do, but it does inevitably run into the... Like, it's not so bad when your cards have 2 numbers on them. When you have 4, especially when some of the numbers start creeping too close to the diagonals, you start running into trouble with it differentiating which number you're actually trying to pick.
I appreciate the efforts that they went to try and come up with cool things to do with the card game. Like, I can see it. I can see what they were going for. I give them points for trying, but no.
Alright, so, this is your last opportunity to go to the church for a while, and I highly recommend you do. Not even just for the levels, but just because that's an instant free heal. But, yeah, you definitely want to be ready before you get on the ship, because the next dungeon is a bit of a doozy.
I can't imagine things going peacefully from here on out. Like, I'm getting a whole vibe off of this. Probably imagining it. I don't know, I feel like it's about time for things to turn in our favour.